Okay, guys, today we're going to look at Jesus heals a boy with an unclean spirit, and Luke, Mark, and Matthew. Luke to the bride of Christ, Mark the sleeping church, Matthew to the Jews. Now, in Luke 9:38, we see, "Behold, a man in the company crying out, saying, Master, I beseech you, look upon my son, for he is my only child. For lo, a spirit taketh him," right? So a spirit taketh his son, but he is his only child, right? Remember in Luke how it's always the children of God, the bride of Christ, right? This portion of the children, the child. This is the same kind of repeating theme you're going to see throughout Luke, right? And then he says, your disciples couldn't cast him out. And Jesus says to them, "O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you and suffer you? Bring thy son hither." And Jesus, whenever they brought the child, he rebukes the unclean spirit, and he healed the child, right? This is the end of the story here in Luke. Now let's jump to Mark. Now right here in Mark, we're going to jump to 9:17. One of the multitude said, "Master, I brought unto thee my son, no longer only son, but my son, which hath a dumb spirit." Notice how he's saying this child has a dumb spirit in him. "And he taketh him, teareth him wherever he goes," right? And your disciples couldn't cast him out. And we see Jesus saying the same thing. "Faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I suffer you? Bring him to me." Mark 9:21, Jesus says, "How long ago since this came unto him?" And the man says, "Of a child," right? And he says, "If you will have compassion on us, please help." And Jesus says, "If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth." So Jesus is telling this group, the sleeping church, if you believe on Christ, all things are possible through Christ. And then he casts the demon out, and Jesus says, "Thou deaf and dumb spirit, I charge thee to come out of him," right? He didn't say this in Luke. He only says this in Mark, because Mark's the sleepy church. That's why we pray for all, our family and our friends, that they have eyes to see and ears to hear, right? This is the time going through seals where their eyes and ears will be opened, right? Let's keep going. All right, Matthew 7:15, we see, "Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed," right? So in Mark, we saw him say, "Have mercy on my son," because he has a dumb spirit. Matthew, now his son's a lunatic. But in Luke, there was no beratement. He didn't say anything negative like that. He just says he has a spirit. And the guy says, "I brought him to your disciples, but they couldn't cure him." And Jesus says the same thing. "How long shall I suffer you?" Then Jesus rebukes the devil this time it's the devil, he rebukes him out of the son. And then the disciples came and said, "Why can't we do it?" And Jesus says to them, "Because of your unbelief," right? If you had the faith of a grain of a mustard seed, you better say to the mountain, "Move," and it would move. But he doesn't. So what's the recap? We see in Luke that it's his only child. There's no beratement. And he doesn't say anything about unbelief or death and dumb spirit. Mark, they have the death and dumb spirit. He casts them out because these can't see or can't hear. Matthew is because of their unbelief, because they don't believe in Jesus came the first time. Hope this bless you guys. Take it easy. God bless.